Man, these are things that I wish I would have known when I graduated. By the way, if you're watching this video, you probably graduated or are about to graduate, so congratulations. I would put a picture of when I graduated on the screen, but right after I walked the stage, my parents left and went to Outback, so I have no graduation pictures, unfortunately. And yes, I'm older than I look. All right, with that being said, let's get right into it. Obviously, you went to school to get a great job, so the best advice that I can give you when it comes to landing that dream role is to not only send in your resume, but go in person to the company, wherever you're applying at. Try to meet the hiring manager or the general manager or the HR person. Like if you can go in there and ask the secretary or the front desk person if you can talk to the manager, a lot of times they'll say yes. And boom, introduce yourself and like build some rapport. That right there is gonna set you apart by leaps and bounds because like I don't think barely anybody's doing this. So definitely keep this in mind. It's definitely worth taking the time to do this. Now, you just graduated. A lot of times people graduate and they're already ready to get more schooling. So what I would suggest is to take some time to go to local networking events, meet the local business owners around the area. I mean, having credentials is a great thing. And obviously, if you want to be like a doctor or a lawyer where you need that school, you really can't get out of that. But if you're going to school for like business or like administration, things like that are more broad, I would suggest going and like meeting face to face with people around. You never know what opportunities. You know what they say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I mean, you could save yourself so much time and money by like just putting yourself out there. You'd be so surprised. Now, when it comes to networking, they're having events all the time. I would suggest look up 1 million cups. It happens every Wednesday and it's throughout the whole United States. So look that up. If there's not one close to you, go on meetup.com and just hit business networking events, and I'm sure you're going to find some things that you can go to. Now, the goal isn't just to collect business cards. You want to follow up with these people, set up one-to-one meetups like over coffee or Zoom, really listen to what they're saying and see how you can add value to them, and they're going to want to help you out too. We're not doing it because of this reason, but that's just the way it goes when you give without expecting anything in return. Now, as you start meeting people, you want to create a database of all the people's names with their contact information, and you want to just have them in your back pocket. You never know when you can refer business to them and just build up those connections. And it's just a great thing. Even if you're, going into the corporate world, these connections, you just never know when you're going to need them. Trust me, this is a great thing to do, especially if you just graduated. If you've never been to a networking event before, I actually have a series, like a vlog series of me networking, so you can kind of see how it's like. And I'm also going to upload a video with tips and tricks when it comes to networking. It's kind of an art, but it's super fun. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I upload that. The next thing is to take your time and really learn how to manage your money efficiently. You shouldn't be getting paid and just start paying things as they come along. You should have a plan for each dollar. Just divide it up into categories. It doesn't have to be so many categories. I just actually do 4 main categories, right? And give each dollar a job, right? Before it gets spent. So you're not wondering where it all went. Like, you'd be surprised. You can see that big number in your bank account, right? And you're like, oh, I have so much. And then a little time goes by and you're like, whoa, that's a lot lower than I expected. And that's because you have to track your expenses. That's the only way you can, stay on top of your money and not get surprised at the balance each time. I actually have a free money template that I give away that makes it so easy to like give each dollar a job. Just message me on Facebook saying money template and I'll send it right over to you. Also, make sure to keep your financial life simple. You don't need so many bank accounts, so many checking account savings. You only need a couple for sure ones, right? And I talk more about that in another video. I'll link it down below. One last thing when it comes to finances, your first priority should be to build up an emergency fund of at least $1,000. That's just the most important thing, right? So you don't have to go into debt if anything were to happen. Now, my whole channel is about money tips and tricks, life hacks, how to live more efficiently. So when it comes to finances, I actually have a Money 101 playlist. I'll leave it down in the description. Make sure to watch that. It is so important. Like I said, they don't teach us this in school, but it's going to save you so much money if you just follow the simple system that I go through. All right, let's go to the next thing. When it comes to health insurance, it's not a secret that I don't like the health insurance industry. There's other options. There's a healthcare cost sharing plans. Basically, everyone pitches in, and when someone is in need, it gets paid out, right? No copay, co-insurance, deductibles, confusing jargon. It's very straightforward. Just make sure to do your research and make sure it's reputable. I'll link a couple good ones down below. Just know health insurance isn't your only option, as well as dental insurance. There's these things called like dental savings plans, which is really cool. You pay like an annual fee and then you get like discounted prices on procedures. I actually did make a video on like the dentist. I actually had a mouth injury, so I talk about how I navigated getting dental work without dental insurance, and also I talk about how I avoid the dentist. So you don't really have to be reliant on the dentist if you don't want to. And yeah, it's a whole ordeal. So I'll link that down below as well. When it comes to buying a car, don't think that you have to go brand new. There's so many great used cars, right? Like I bought mine for like a few $1,000s, less than $5,000, and they maintained it so well. And it was such a steal. And because of that, I don't have to be stuck with a car payment. You do not want to be stuck with a high car payment for years and years if you don't have to. So really take your time and find that, that gem of a car that can last you years without you having to like be stuck in debt for it for so long. I mean, if you can pay for the car in cash, that's obviously the best. But if you can't, try to look for a more affordable car. When buying a house as a first-time home buyer, a lot of times you're able to put 3 to 5% down as a down payment versus 20%, which is amazing. A good tip is to buy the worst house in a really good neighborhood, like an up-and-coming neighborhood, versus buying the best house in a really sucky neighborhood. You can house hack, so that's just renting out the rooms. That can help you significantly with the mortgage. I mean, a lot of times you can get your whole mortgage covered by your housemates. And with that money that you're saving from the mortgage, you can use it to either fix up your house or upgrade it or whatever and make it that true dream home, right? All this while the house is just going up, up, up in value because it's in such a good neighborhood. Now, let's talk about some time management. Get into the habit of always arriving early to places, even if you have to wait for a few minutes in your car. Now, let me give you an example. Like, let's say the event starts at 2:30, the place is 30 minutes away. How I used to do it was I would leave at 2, right? 30 minutes to get there. I'll get there right on time. However, you just never know. There's so many variables to life that you have to plan accordingly. Is there traffic? Was there an accident? Also, on your way out the door takes some time, so you really have to account for all that. So what I do these days, let's say I gotta get somewhere at 2:30, right, and it's 30 minutes away, I'll leave like at 1:40. 10 minutes to account for any traffic or accidents, and then 10 minutes to just account for me walking out the door, because a lot of times, putting on my jacket or my shoes or fixing my hair, putting on perfume, that takes a little bit of time. If I forget something, I gotta run back upstairs, grab a water. That takes time that I never account for. So I give myself like 10 minutes for this just because it always happens. And it's good just to be, at ease, not like frantic. So I give myself 20 minutes on top of the drive time. This is just a game changer. My dad used to always say, early is on time and on time was late. So deal with that as you will. Now that you're graduated, it's definitely harder as an adult, right? To make friends and to maintain friendships. So try to always, a couple times a month, to go out and do things with friends. It's so easy to let months and months go by without being social. And when you do get together, try to do free things. You don't always have to spend money because it can add up, right? Go to the park, go on meetup.com and look at free events. A lot of times there's free festivals going on that you just don't know about. So always be aware. Go into your city's Facebook groups. A lot of times they'll update things on there. Also, try out different activities. Do archery, pickleball, whatever it is. Meet new people. Like, keep life interesting. You don't want to get stuck in a loop of doing the same things. So yeah, be intentional about having fun. Don't be scared to talk to people first. People are surprisingly friendly most of the time. So either ask them a question or give them a compliment, and then after that, ask them what their name is, and boom, you're off to the races. And the more you do it, the easier it is. Now, in the same vein as trying out different activities, really find hobbies that you love. Now, you really love a hobby when you lose track of time whenever you're doing it. Set healthy boundaries. Don't be scared to say no. And if someone does something that you don't like or you're offended by, tell them right away. Don't let it linger. And then it's just because sometimes they don't even know they did it. So, pull them to the side and just tell them. It's not really what you say, it's how you say it. And I'm sure they'll be appreciative that you told them. So, yeah, talk it out. And a lot of times it can be resolved easily. Also, if you started something and you're not feeling it, don't feel like you have to see it through. You just don't. You don't have to be somewhere where it takes away your peace or where you're miserable at, okay? Now, here are some more miscellaneous things. Set up a good morning and nighttime routine. I like to say take off and land, slow mornings, slow nights. It's just gonna help with sleep, and sleep is so important. So definitely set up a routine for yourself. Next is to keep your spaces clean and organized. What I like to do is the start of each season. So summer just started, I went and vacuumed my car. There's a free vacuum place, and they give free spray and towels and everything, so you can wipe everything down. But definitely don't leave trash in your car. Don't let it pile up. It's just not good for your mental state of mind, right? In your room, your house. Don't let clutter accumulate or dust, right? Whenever you see it, wipe it down. It's better to do it quickly as it's happening than letting it pile up and having to spend so much time, cleaning or organizing. Also, as you buy new things, try to declutter, right? I like to do one thing in, one thing out, or one thing in, two things out, which is, a really cool thing. But this just helps just have more clarity of mind, more things, more stress a lot of times. Always keep learning niche things. Go into rabbit holes that interest you. Get a library card and see what resources they have. A lot of times they have free museum passes. My library hooked us up with LinkedIn Learning, which is really valuable. So see what they have, and it's free. Also, go to libraries and hang out. Do some work there. It's such a change of pace, and it's one of the only places that you can really go and they don't expect you to buy a thing. Set long-term goals. Where do you see yourself in 5-10 years, and breaking down into actionable steps. Think about creating content about whatever your hobby is. You never know what that can turn into, and it could be a way out of your 9 to 5 if you ever want to not have one. Be accepting of change. Embrace it and enjoy the ride. Try to volunteer maybe once a month or once every 2 months. It's just so fulfilling, and it helps us be more grateful of what we have. And you never know who you can meet there too. people with similar mindsets that, have a heart of giving. So definitely volunteer if that interests you. When you're feeling the urge to doom scroll, take 2 or 3 deep breaths and quickly do something else that you like, something productive. You gotta do it quick though. You gotta do it quick. Learn to embrace failure. Fail forward, if anything. Sometimes the cost of that lesson was that, failure, or was that thing not going as you planned. You needed to go through that to help you get to where you need to go. So never see a failure as a failure. Seeing as a learning lesson. Whenever you go to a social outing, never be replaying in your mind something that you said. Never have regrets, because let me tell you, everyone is thinking about their own selves, not necessarily of you. So that should release you of any pressure or anything. So be you authentically, and don't even worry about the rest. Take the risk or lose the chance, right? Be wise about it, but talk to that CEO. Talk to that person that looks like they have similar interests as you. Try out that business idea. Take the risk or lose the chance. All right, so I just threw a lot at you. Rewatch it if you have to. Man, these are things that I wish I would have known when I graduated. But since you know them, take action. It's going to change your life, I promise. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited to take action about. Click here to watch another video, subscribe for more, and thank you so much for watching. God bless.